or whatever. But I'm washing dishes, water running, but I hear something, and a minute or so go by, and there's something say, go check on your baby. So I turns off the water. I go to the room. My baby is not in the bed.
Is that I experienced. I've been experiencing paranormal since from the last I remember when I was probably.
But in the beginning, they did not believe me. Up until like they actually saw me trying to open the door because I said that I.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me.
Okay, so I don't know if we still doing like the spooky TikToks or whatever, but I have like 2 stories about both my children that that just came back to me that I cannot shake. So I'm gonna start with my daughters first. My daughter's 10 now. She had to be about 4 or 5 when this happened. We were living in these apartments that I had not recently, but previously lived in as a child, way back when. One morning my baby wakes me up telling me that the doggy in her room is talking to her. And I'm like, you must have been dreaming, go back to bed. This child looks me right in my face and tell me, no, it said hey. And that's one thing to know about my daughter is she's always been like very sure of herself, especially when speaking to you about what she's saying, what she's trying to communicate to you, always. So at which point, I'm like, okay. I go ahead, I get up, and I go to her room, and I point the doggy out. And sure enough, it's on her bed. I'm like, this one? She's like, yeah. It's talking to me. I said, okay. Say less. I get the dog, I go take it to the porch. Because I've watched enough scary movies for my little scary behind to know that you don't question these children when they telling you something that's going on in their room, because entities, they target children a lot of the times. So, I mean, it was a bummer just because it was like a gift from my grandmother. It was a beautiful stuffed black and brown dog. I mean, a nice little size, beautiful. And it was a gift from my grandmother. Like, I probably would have never gotten rid of it if, my baby hadn't said that. So, fast forward a few hours, my son's dad wakes up, and I'm like, hey, that dog that's on the porch, I need you to take it to the dumpster. He looks at me. He was like, well, what's up? I say, Bailey, say, it's talking to her. Get it out of here. He said, say less. He takes it to the dumpster. But that was just like one of the experiences that I had in that apartment with one of my children. Now, I'm gonna say that my family is pretty sensitive to these type of issues. So like I don't play around with it. My baby says she's seeing something or she's hearing something, like I'm not gonna tell her she's crazy and that it's not happening. I do try to calm her down just because I don't want her scared, and also I'm terrified. But I gotta be a strong one. Like, fix it.
Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. When your kids tell you they see something, you gotta believe them, okay? Because a lot of the time it's true. When I was a child, I saw things and people didn't believe me. All right, so I know.
Okay, part 2, the story about my son. And this is like, it takes the cake because my baby was a baby, like a baby. And even looking back, I feel like I'm crazy. I was crazy. I couldn't tell nobody about this because they would just say that I'm crazy. I was going through postpartum. Like, it was bad. So one day, my son is like probably 4 to 5 months. I leave him sleeping in my big king size bed. Now, it was one of these old school king size bed. Like, you know how they used to make furniture big and sturdy? Like, it was a bed that my mama hadn't had for 20 plus years already. I took it, because, it was a big, nice bed. And a bed that I had to, like, kind of, like, to get into. I'm 5'7", not a small girl. So, I said all that to say, that's how big that bed was. Getting out of it would not be an easy feat for a 4 or 5 month old. I'm in the kitchen washing dishes, and I hear something. Now, mind you, we're still in the same little apartment. It's not big at all. So I still shouldn't really hear him from the bedroom unless he's crying or whatever. But I'm washing dishes, water running, but I hear something. And a minute or so go by, and there's something say, go check on your baby. So I turns off the water. I go to the room. My baby is not in the bed. I immediately freak out. Like, did he roll off the bed and roll under the bed? But he would have cried, because these are some little, like, low-income apartments. The floors are like concrete. If my baby had hit that floor, he would have been screaming his head off or unconscious. So my baby's not in the bed. He's not under the bed. He's not at the foot of the bed. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm running all over this apartment, which is not big, looking for my 4 to 5 month baby. Not crawling, not walking, barely sitting up. I can't find my baby. I done went back to the kitchen, from the kitchen all the way back to the back of the house, looking for my baby. So it's my room, my daughter's room, closets, the bathrooms. Walked into my daughter's room, looked all around, looked under her bed, looked in her closet, looked behind the door. Can't find my baby. So I go back to the kitchen like I'm losing my effing mind. I'm almost in tears because my baby was in this house with me. I know my child was in this house with me. Where's my baby? Where's my baby? It's like a Lifetime movie going on in my head. Where's my baby? I back to my room, looking all through the covers, under the bed again. And I'm just standing, like, go back to the living room, standing in a circle, like, just going, turn around in circles. And I hear, like, a little noise coming from my daughter's room. Walk into that room, I still don't see my baby. But as I turn around to walk back out her room, he's sitting behind me at the door. Like, not actually. So not even in the doorway, but like slightly behind the door. But mind you, when I went in my daughter's room the first time, I looked behind the door. I looked all over the place. The baby just sitting behind me, just looking at me, sitting up, looking at me. I pick him up, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm still like in tears, and I'm crying, and I'm like, I know I'm not crazy because I came in here and I looked for my baby. What just happened? What happened? What was trying to take my baby? Where did it take my baby? Because he was not completely gone. And you can ask my mama, like, I called my mama bawling because I felt like I was losing my mind. Postpartum was kicking my butt. I'm not going to lie about that. But not so much to where, like, I just wouldn't see my... To this day, I cannot explain that feeling. I can't explain what could have happened because he was not crawling yet. He was just sitting up. What happened? Baby, I don't miss those apartments at all. And I do feel like both of my children are like slightly gifted in one way or another. Like, they might be growing out of something. Like, my daughter's 10 now, and she probably just keeps a lot of things to herself because she said some things. I'm just like, are you playing? If you're playing, you should be playing like that. But you know. But yeah, that story with my son. And like, I couldn't call nobody but my mama, and my mama was still just like, girl, you okay? You okay? Because I'm crying, like crying. I couldn't call his daddy because his daddy was already on like some get it together, I'm leaving type. Which that should have been the red flag right there, just for you to just go ahead and go. Because if your mother of your child is struggling with postpartum and you know she's already sad or whatever, you don't tell me. But that's a whole nother story. Anywho, I felt like I was losing my mind because somebody or something in that house was playing with my child. Had them took him out the bed, and I don't know what the... I cannot. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments. But don't be like I'm crazy, because I'm not crazy, because I know what I experienced that day. And to this day, like, I make sure I keep like my kids really, really close to me. If you're uncomfortable, if I'm uncomfortable, and it feels like something spooky's going on, like, hey, y'all, come lay with me. Like, you know. Bye, y'all.
Good evening, good afternoon, good day, good night, wherever you are. This is Let's Talk with Kay. Okay, I got a few responses, basically wanting to hear, I guess, ghost stories, paranormal experiences that I experienced. I've been experiencing paranormal since from the last I remember, when I was probably around 6 or 7 years old. And I kind of thought many times, okay, which story should I talk about first? And I guess I will talk about one that seems, I don't know, I guess I'm not gonna say it's one of my favorites, but I will say it occurred when I used to work at, I'm not gonna say the amusement park's name, but it's a large one in Texas. I'll put it that way. But anyways, I think this was my second year or second summer working there, and this second summer I was 17 years old, and I worked as like, they call us like a red tags, meaning you're like a supervisor. So I was kind of like a supervisor working at this amusement park during that summer of 1997. So anyways, I never heard any stories until this year, or that year, you know, when I was working, that this amusement park is kind of haunted. At this time, I didn't believe in spirits, didn't believe in ghosts, nothing like that. So I wasn't scared to work by myself. Let me give you a little setting of where it's located at. I would say the setting, it's not, I would say it's kind of like back of the park. And at nighttime, like when the park's closed, you would, you know, of course it's dark, you will hear all those sounds of like frog croaks, and you hear all this creepy, to me it's creepy, music in the background, you know. I guess it's kind of westerny or something like that. And it's kind of like a eerie, unsettling feeling. And I would say that I work close to, I guess the Texas Giant, if you're familiar with the amusement park that I'm talking about. I worked close in that area, like the little Texas area or whatever, where the Western shows were played, and you got the log ride, like a little water ride. But anyways, I worked in this yellow house looking building per se, and I'll just give you the kind of dimensions of it. Let's picture a house, picture a rectangle. The front of the rectangle is basically half of that rectangle is where basically a big old window is at. You'll see, you know, us workers inside popping popcorn, making cotton candy, all that type of stuff. The other half is sectioned off, like in its own half, you know. That half is basically, one half is the dish area, or you might hear my cat in the background. The other half, which is, to me, it's not even an equal half, it's a lot smaller, is where you have like the cash, the money, the cotton candy supplies, and all this type of stuff. So, and it's only your door to go inside the restaurant, the door to go inside the wash area, to wash dishes and stuff. The other half, I guess, a door to go from the I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. One door going from the dishwasher area to the management area, I put it that way. And then you had a back door. And then behind the building is like a little fenced area where it had a little table, like a little picnic table. This is how it looked like when I worked there. And then you go outside the gate. So I didn't really pay attention that I'm pretty much the only one that was willing to work at nighttime. So everybody else, I don't remember, I think it was a Saturday, or probably was a Saturday. But anyways, everything was locked up. I think it was probably around after 9 o'clock. It's dark. Pretty much, no, it probably had to be later than that during the summertime, after the park was closed. So it could have been after 10 o'clock at night. So of course the front door is locked. nobody. And then once you go inside the washroom, you know, anybody can go in and out of that room, and then, you know, go from that room to the, I guess, little supervisor area, the desk. So this is what happened. So I knew nobody was inside. It was just me by myself. As we were teenagers, we're not trying to. And I know some people probably would think, oh, it's a prank. It was a prank. Let me finish my story. So after working, you know, I had the keys, locking up everything. So next thing you know, I'm sitting in my room, the little room, and just counting the cash and, you know, getting ready to, you know, close out the till so I can, you know, close up and go home. So while all the lights were out in the two other rooms, so I'm here by myself in this little room. It's probably a lot smaller than where you know, my room right now, where I'm in. So I'm sitting here counting my money by myself. Next thing you know, I just heard clashes, sounding like big, like metal aluminum pots and big metals. Cause mind you, I had to work, you know, work with caramel, you know, all that type of stuff. So we had like metal. It sounded like metal was crashing down on the floor. It scared the heck out of me. Mind you, nobody was there. It was just me by myself. So it scared the hell out of me. So I just got the money, my purse. I ran out that door, made sure the door was locked really quick. Ran out, opened the back gate, and I just ran up this hill, going from that building, ran up the hill, going to where all the, you know, I guess cash management was at. So I'm like, I didn't know what happened, and it was late. And that was like my first, I'm not gonna say my first, but this experience definitely told me that there are such things as spirits and ghosts. And I was a big skeptic. Excuse me, I'm kind of under the weather, if you can tell or not. So I was a big skeptic. I didn't believe in nothing. And I probably heard only somebody mentioned once or twice. And I think between the last time or the first time that I heard something, in between that time was like a few months. So it wasn't like something that somebody told me, like, oh, these ghost stories, and then the next day or the next night they want to play a prank on me. So me being a skeptic, I went to work the next day. And I went to work that morning, or I think it was morning or afternoon, and nobody acted like they noticed something. And I was just like, and I was scared to mention something because it was really taboo to talk about these things. So I'm kind of like reading the room, like, did anybody notice anything? Did anybody see dishes? I'm not sure. I don't remember if I even asked anyone, did they see dishes on the floor or whatever like that. It was just like a normal day. But I can say one thing, when it was time for schedule, I told them I absolutely will not work at nighttime. I'm not working at night. That scared the living daylights out of me, to be by yourself in us. And mind you, this little room, this building or house that I worked in was small. And I forgot to mention we had the little metal racks holding all this stuff. So
that little girl say no. I know what I heard. That dog spoke to me. And I believe her. Because let me tell you, when I was younger, I told this story before. My special needs friend that passed away at a very young age. I mean, we were like very, very young. He passed away from whatever cause, whatever it was. But I would see him and I would tell people this and no one would believe me. And it made me felt so crazy. Like, why am I seeing this person that someone or people are telling me that he's gone, he's never going to be he's never gonna come back. You're never going to see him again, da da da. Because that's what you tell kids when someone had passed on. They went to go see Jesus, stuff like that. But I would see him on a regular basis in the same spot where we used to play, and I've told stories about this before, but no one would believe me. And even when my godmom, my godmom. I'm trying to think like what it is in English. Well, it's godmom, but it's magan. She's my magan. And in Spanish is madrina. So she basically raised me. She raised me since I was like 5 days old because my mom had to come to the United States. So she left her with me. She left me with her because she trusts that she would be a good person to raise me. And plus, she always wanted a daughter. She didn't have a daughter, so I was like a princess, right? Anyways, she ended up passing away. And when she passed away at a very young age too, and that's the one that she used to work at this, she used to work at this place, and then they put like stuff on the floor, and she broomed it, and she ended up passing away. So witchcraft, basically, right? But when she passed away, oh Lord, I just got a text message that shocked me. Anyways, when she passed away, I would see her. Literally in my dreams, I would see her outside of the house that she left us, because the house ended up burning down. And I told that story too. It was like a strange situation how it happened, but I would see her in my dreams. She would come knock at the door and telling me that she's coming to get me. Like she needs to, I need to go with her. And I also remember that the other young lady, I think Rebecca's Journey, told a story like this. And it's crazy because I have the same story. So she would tell me that she would come to get me. And it got to the point where I was sleepwalking to the door. And one of my brothers, which is her son, because she didn't have any daughters. She had two sons. One that was older and one that was right about my age. Benny! Come! You're going to fall in that lake. God, hold on, sorry guys. She basically was saying that she was coming to get me, and then I would wake up, but I can still hear the knocking, and everybody else is sleeping, so therefore they didn't hear it. It was like a phantom knock, but I could hear it. And I walked to the door while still sleeping, to the point where my brothers had to take turn staying up to watch me, because that's how bad it was. My godmom's mom was older, so they didn't really put that burden on her to stay up and stuff, because she now became like our caretaker. But I would hear her outside knocking for me. It got so bad, and then one day the house got caught on fire. It was like the strangest thing, and that's one of the reasons why I don't have any baby pictures, because the house caught on fire. But in the beginning, they did not believe me, up until like they actually saw me trying to open the door, because I said that I saw her. She was outside waiting for me, or wanting for me to open the door for her, because she's coming to get me. And it got to the point where they call this in Creole, they call it chagrin. So basically when somebody die, you're depressed, basically, right? And you would think about the person, because literally she was like my mom. She was literally like my mom. She raised me since I was like 5 days old, and she was, there's this thing in Creole, in Haiti, that is called maimoulin. It's like cornmeal. And I hated cornmeal. I hate cornmeal. And she knew this. So she would cook cornmeal for the house. Like she made cornmeal, maimoulin, sauce pois, which is bean sauce, and then like sauce fish, like fish sauce. They'll fry the fish and then do the sauce, and then they'll put the fish in there. Good food. But I could not eat the maimoulin to save my life. It's this yellow cornmeal, basically. I think you guys have it here in America too, but it's called maimoulin in Creole. And every time she'll make the maimoulin, till this I still remember it. Like she passed when I was maybe like 6, but I still remember these things because they affected me so much, right? But another thing that I remember too is because she would cater to my needs. Like, because she did not have a daughter, she wanted a daughter, she treated me like a princess. She would make the maimoulin, which to me was a little something that was special, even though it's not that big of a deal. She'll make the maimoulin for everyone, but then she'll cook like a small pot of rice for me to have with the beans and everything. But I'll have my small pot of rice because she know that I would not eat. I will not eat unless it's something else other than maimoulin. I don't know. A lot of Haitian kids don't like maimoulin. You could, if you're Haitian, let me know. Because that's one thing that we don't like, because once it get cold, it get all thick. And you have to cut it, and you have to eat it when it's hot. If you like it, you have to eat it when it's hot and it's runny, because it's good. But when it's cold, it's thick. It's like grits. When it's cold, it's thick, and it just tastes weird. Anyway, so I never liked that. But she would make that for me, and to me it was special. And she would travel to go buy things, because she had a store, not necessarily a store, but she sell at the market. But she'll have to buy things continuously. So whenever she traveled all over, her husband lived in New York. at the time, and he would always send money for her and da da da. But she would go and buy things, and she'll always bring me a gift, and I always look forward to that. But when she passed, I think it's because I was so attached to her, because now I'm starting to notice what it actually meant. I was so attached to her. I don't think she was willing to let go. Even with her own sons, they never saw her. But I did, and I would hear her, I would see her sometimes. But then finally, I don't even know how, like, I got over it. It just like, all of a sudden, I didn't see her anymore. I didn't hear her anymore. She didn't come for me anymore. Well, then the house did burn down. I will tell you the story. I think I did share a story about that, where the house burned down, and it was like the strangest thing of how it burnt down, because the thing that burnt the house down should have never been able to burn the house down. So it's crazy to me. But y'all, let me know if you want me to tell you that story. But that's the house that I grew up in Haiti, and because the house was caught on fire, I have absolutely no baby pictures. I don't even know what I look like as a baby. It's just like, look. Anyways, y'all, yeah, believe your kids, because children be seeing stuff. Why? Because children are more sensitive to the spirit world. Why do you think, like, they always have, like, how do you call this? They will always have movies about children being able to see ghosts or angels or stuff like that, because they're more innocent. They have not been corrupt by the world yet, so therefore they're able to see. So for example, ever since I was a kid, I've been able to see them, like see people would come to me and show themselves to me. But right now, I don't see anything. I can feel the energy is heavy. That's why I like to protect myself. I have like sulfur and red brick dust. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. I just can't get the word out properly right now, but red dust, basically. It's like a brick. Yeah. Anyways, you put it around your house for protection, all that stuff. Or you could put like a broom in front of your door, because if you know. Anyways, if you know, you know. The Geechee tribe people do that. So anyways, but yeah, I'm very sensitive to energy, but I don't see stuff anymore like I used to as a child. As a child, I was more sensitive to it. People that I used to see, some would be like, you know, if basically I'll see them how they pass. So I'd be like, why do this person look like that? I'll question that to myself, but I could never actually talk to anyone about it because nobody actually believed me. Nobody actually believed me. So I felt crazy talking about, oh, I see this person with like a big slice in their face and they're bleeding, you know, because I'll see them like that. I'll see them as they passed, you know. So, and plus also I did grow up in like 2 houses where after the people pass, they actually kept the body in the house for very long time. I'd say maybe a few hours longer than it should be in the house. And obviously they purchase ice and keep them on ice and all that stuff. But for a child to see like a dead body just like that, to me is just it's crazy, because it lives that impact. It makes a difference in your life and how you see the world. And that is the reason why, like, I have 2 dream jobs, and being a mortician was one of them. Actually, yeah, being a mortician was one of them, because I'm like, you know what, that to me it's not a big deal, because I've seen it as a child. It doesn't traumatize me. Well, I guess kind of sort of traumatize me, but then I'm like, it's normal to see, because you used to see that person walking around being normal, and then they passed away. You know that, yeah, they're no longer there, because I've known about like death and all that stuff since I was a kid, because I would ask questions, because the things that I was seeing I couldn't really talk to anyone about. So I'll go around the bush and ask like random questions to be able to get my answers. So that's why like a lot of time I feel sorry, I feel like I'm an old soul, because of the things that I've experienced in life that I feel like people around my age probably have never experienced. Not because I'm anything special, but just because, you know. Anyways, that's my take. Bye. Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and this is Shameless Plug. So I want to tell you guys about my Crown of Success manifestation book with easy, simple rituals and spells to manifest a life of abundance in your life. And those spells are so easy, even a child can do it. So this book is filled with different spells that I've learned over the years from my family, passed down from grandma and everything. And also those are spells that I've actually tried and I know that they work. So this book not only teach you step by step on the things that you can do that are so easy that a child can do it, but it tells you like the proper moon phase to use alchemy, manifesting with numbers, numerology, and also the days of the week that best fit for this particular spell. So it tells you the timing of when to practice the spell, the days of the week, the moon phase. It show you all the colors of the candles that you should be using and different planets. So for example, I show you like planet Jupiter is for Thursdays and the hours of the days that you should be doing the spell. So this is an easy road opener spell. So I know a lot of people like to do like different spell work, but if your roads are blocked, of course your spells are not going to work. So it's good to unblock yourself first and then start using the spell, especially with the new years and the new days to come. And also I have some amazing spells in here. This is a powerful quick money spell. So if you're in a bind for some money and you're just trying to get some money, and I even have some easy powerful spell to win game of chance. So if you are a gambler, now I don't promote gambling, but if you are a gambler and you're just trying to make some money and trying to make sure you win, these spells will definitely help you. It tells you the best days to do it. So it says the best days to perform this spell is on a Thursday, Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, luck, and expansion. Jupiter is the best day to perform spells that boost luck and increase your chance of success in any game of chance or any money spell, period. It has a list of so many spells that you can incorporate in your life with this new year to bring prosperity. And I even put some bonus spells on here, which for Saturday is a day to do like protection work. So I have a spell for like send back to sender. So I put some bonus spells on here, and then a protection with Archangel Michael. So there's so many spells on here. Removing the evil eye spell, so you can remove evil eye in your money and also in your everyday life. New Year home blessing spell, and I know it's been a few days since the new year started, but you can always do a home blessing spell any days of the week. As long as you need it, you could do it. So anyways, guys, this is my book. It's called Crown of Success by Jenny, and it's available on Amazon, the ebook and also the physical copying. So please grab a copy if you're interested in supporting this channel. This is a way to support the channel and to support me as well for putting out, content every day for you guys to enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you go and grab your copy, whether it's the ebook or the physical copy. I say have a physical copy, but it's really up to how much your wallet and what you can afford. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah. This is a shameless plug, so just check out my channel. Okay, love you guys. Mwah.